PSA AK 102, a primary arms GLX Prism, and some SuperVel 55 grain reman. Guys, we're 100 yards out, shooting a mini 8-inch steel target. Yo, 3 for 3, let's go. What's going on, guys? Roger here, QVO Tactical, and like you just saw, we're shooting the AK 102 from PSA today. Let's get into it. Now, before we get started, guys, I always like to tell you how we go about getting products here on the channel. As you know, we've worked with PSA on quite a few videos, and we were talking about some of the stuff we wanted to feature, and the AK 102 was one of them. So they're nice enough to send this out to us free of charge. Please keep that in mind as you watch the video. In addition to that, Primary Arms reached out and said, hey, our GLX Prism, the new one's coming out. Can we feature one on the channel? So they sent it over to us, and our friends over at ADM gave us this very, very low profile QD mount for it. So as always, I want to give you guys full transparency on how we get things here on the channel. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the first rounds. All right, guys, let's get into the first rounds of the PSA AK 102. It's got this nice ALG trigger in there, and we're shooting some SuperVel, their 55 grain certified select. About 25 yards out, just gonna shoot 10 rounds, see how this thing feels. Here we go. That thing is super smooth. This booster, man, there's like no recoil at all. Using the GLX, the new GLX Prism from Primary Arms. I used it on a previous setup and really liked it, so I figured we'd bring it back out here on this ADM low profile mount. Let's go look at the hits, and then we'll have the other guys shoot. So as you can see, all of my hits are down here. So like I said, we took the optic off of a previous gun. We haven't zeroed yet. I do get a lot of questions like, hey, how come you don't zero the optic before you shoot the first rounds? Guys, I want you to see the actual first rounds out of the gun, my initial thoughts and reactions from shooting the actual first rounds. After this portion, then we zero it. So I'm gonna zero it now, just bring it up a little bit, just kind of like get it up to here, just for the other guys shooting it. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 7 out of the 10 hit here. Looks like the other 2 are probably down below there. But I mean, for as fast as I was shooting, I'll take this. You know, it's smaller than my fist right there. But gun feels super good. I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit for the other guys before they shoot so they can be, you know, closer to the A zone. But yeah, first shots feel good. All right, we got one of 2 AK boys out here right now. Landon and Marco are the AK shooters. Landon, you're up first, bud.
Pretty excited for this one, man. This is why I love 5.56 AKs. I mean, the softest shooting 5.56 gun you're ever gonna shoot. We don't need to go look at the hits at all. As far as how smooth the gun is, it's super smooth. That break, it doesn't even need to really be there. These guns are just properly gassed out of the box. But
let's go look. So you guys remember my group was here. I adjusted the optic. I went 30 clicks up and 8 left. It looks like windage is probably pretty good for these ones here, but I definitely need to come up some more. But Landon just started burning it down.
That's definitely why there's not a lot of hits on this paper, because the optic's off. It wasn't just because I started pulling the trigger really fast, but these guns are so smooth. They're highly underrated. 5.56 AKs are just, they're one of my favorite guns to shoot, so I'm excited for this review.
And don't worry, guys, after Marco shoots his, I'm going to move it up a little more, but we're going to do some fine, you know, pinpoint accuracy, or see if we can get pinpoint accuracy with the setup. All right, AK boy, and 2 of 2.
Wolverines, baby. Love these guns. Ow! Let's see.
That's a roller delay device.
Break it, it's an AK, guys, come on. It is what it is with these things. Sometimes you got to break them in. So. Yeah, shoots pretty good. Pulls a little to the right. Usually, that's what happens to these style breaks, though. So shoots good for now. Let's find out more later.
Is that where the movement was? Because I didn't see it go up at all.
It slightly does this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
the side profile is insane.
Yeah. So as you can see, guys, when I mean tracking to the right, the double taps, the first shot's here, second shot will go there when you pull that quick, ba-bang, ba-bang, those type of splits. Consistent pull to the right, but still pretty good. 5.56 AK is good old cheater guns for speed, so especially with those ALG triggers on them.
All right, let's get this thing zeroed in. We are back here at 50, guys. We got this thing decently zeroed up. I got a shoot and see target downrange with my phone recording, so you guys can see. We'll do 5-round grouping here with some 55 grain from SuperVel and see how it does. And then I'm also going to try out some of their 77 grain. Here we go. That might have been off on me. Do 2 more. Alright, let's go take a look. Down here at the target, guys, and I did have a couple flyers with those included. Those are furthest to furthest. We're at 5 1/4 inch, and then inside here it would have been like 2 1/4. But I'm gonna have Marco and Landon kind of break down, you know, expectations that we had for the accuracy with AK, especially American made. These guys shoot competitively for AK stuff, and Landon works on it all day long over Ventura. So guys, take it away.
Love working on them. Love working on any firearm. This is more than within spec for like most AKs. And then US AKs, I mean, yeah, do some shoot a little bit tighter? Absolutely. But for what the gun's made for, and like close up, fast, like burn them down stages that we typically have, we're not shooting past 100 yards for the most part on your standard size steel target. So I can definitely win with this kind of grouping. But a lot of AR-15 guys, or just any other semi-automatic platform, they're gonna be like, that's unacceptable, which I can understand, dude. But I don't need the gun to shoot sub-minute.
This is also a 12 1/2 inch barrel.
Yeah, correct, with just a 1X at 50.
Yeah.
If we put a 1 to 8 on there, could we print a smaller group? Maybe, you know, but this is what the gun will typically do, yeah.
And most AKs are like 3 to 6 inch guns, so it's not like an AR where most of them will get like an 1 2 inch group all day long. This is pretty good for what it is.
I think for the bloopers, I'm about to come back out with my 1 to 8, put it on there and see.
You could. Yeah, like a freaking.
You have anything higher than that?
Yeah, like a 25.
Yeah, I got a 5 to 25.
Let's just go for it.
But yeah, it's one of the things. AKs, it is what it is. The lighter caliber is always going to be more accurate too than the 7.62 by 39 guns, to be expected.
Yeah, it's just like flatter shooting, right?
Yeah, just
like a
flatter
7.62.
trajectory around itself.
So what do you guys predict if we throw some 77 grain OTMs in
It
this
should tighten
thing?
up. It'll tighten up.
All right, let's do it.
Depending on the twist rate, but I think you can only get better.
All right, let's try it. Now we're gonna try some of the 77 grain 223 OTM from SuperVel. New stuff they just came out with for some 223 precision stuff. Back here, GLX Prism from Primary Arms and the PSA AK 102. Let's see how it groups now. So unmagnified, out at 50. All right, let's go take a look. Down here at the target now, guys, and this was my first shot, and then the other 4 grouped pretty well. But overall spread is 2 3/4 center to center. Without the little flyer there, it would have been a 1 1/4 inch group. So having a sub 3 with this AK, I'm definitely happy with that, guys. Marco, you kind of said though, for matches and stuff, you probably just stick with the 55 grain. The cost doesn't really warrant switching over to this.
Not really, because most targets are within 100 yards anyway for an AK match, unless there's a spinner. If there's a spinner, we're going to use 77 grain, so we got more mass on target to drive it over. That's really it. Otherwise,
cool. But yeah, I'm definitely, like you guys said, I'm happy with this accuracy.
Yeah.
All right, guys, build drill portion. Figure let's have Marco start it off. He runs this platform in competitions. On you, Landon.
Stand by.
Woo! What do we got, Landon?
1.12, best split was a 10.
Nice.
And it didn't even pick up the 6th shot.
yeah, the gun can do it, so I can get under .10s.
How did hits feel?
Yeah, pretty good. It's not a prism guy, so a little weird for me.
That's a super tight group, though.
Yeah.
Whew, I feel slow with this thing.
142.
142?
Best split was a 14.
It's just kind of like different
timing's
manipulations with.
Yeah.
Well, it's because like coming up, I'm like, I almost went thumb for safety, and I was like, oh wait, no, it's index finger.
Firing finger.
But I mean, this thing shoots stupid flat though.
Yeah.
For you said what, 140 something?
142.
123, 123. All alpha.
Yeah, it's like
Holding about here, which is about right for the offset.
it shoots predictable.
Why'd you do the double take?
I missed the safety completely. But I'm an honest guy. I'm an open book.
182, best split was, you got 11, 12, 14s.
Splits were good.
pretty good. But for you guys that don't know, you have to actually push that down to let the gun start going bang. And I missed it completely. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
All right, you get a mulligan. Let's do it again.
All right, let's run it back.
Woo! That's a 1, 2, 3, dude.
1, 2, 3. You can do it too.
You got 2 13s, 2 14s, and a 15.
Oh, don't look at the delta. Hey, YouTube.
It's still a rifle, major power factor, you know what I'm saying?
Still would have got him, you know. Major power factor, you
Could have
said?
spun him around.
Okay, thanks, Marco. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, gun's super fast. It can definitely do it. Manual of arms is a little different for some other people, but it's so much fun to shoot.
Hey guys, Marco here with your trigger breakdown for the PSA AK 102. It's got an ALG standard in it, which is really nice. They're the best AK triggers in my opinion. Won multiple championships with them, so as you see, it's pretty much a single stage. So these guns are built for speed anyway. You don't really need a 2-stage. Right when you're on it, you're pretty much there. There's a slight pre-travel, and it's off. Resets quick. So there, about 2-pound brake. They usually brake in a little better as well, which is nice over the time. And you can literally let them rip. So very easy to do with this trigger system. Easy money.
Guys, before we leave the range, I wanted to kind of piggyback on the accuracy portion of our video. We're back here at 100 yards now. I have a mini 8-inch steel target downrange, and I want to see how well we're hitting that thing while standing. Again, shooting the SuperVel 55 grain certified select. Back here at 100, mini 8-inch target. I'm gonna have my camera guy come around and try to get you guys to see how small this target really is out there at 100. Shooting standing, not the easiest, but see if we can do it. You ready?
Ready.
Oh, I'm out. I'll take it. I got 3 for 5. I'll take that all day long. I'm gonna have Marco hop on here. Marco's not a fan of the prism optics, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. Nice.
Yeah.
Got like 3 or 4 out of 6.
Pretty much. Do your job, the gun will do its part. So it is what it is. AK 102.
All right, guys, last part of the video is going to be our final thoughts. We'll make this short and sweet for you guys. These two, they shoot a lot of competition AK stuff. So, Marco, take it away first, man. What do you like, what do you don't like?
For the price point, you get a lot of going on here. The trigger's already upgraded. The parts are on the gun. As we all know, installing parts on AK is not fun. It's blacksmithing, not really gunsmithing. So the top rail already there. It's good to go. Like, take it out of the box, put a red dot on, 0, good to go. Shoots pretty good. I'd like to see longevity. How many rounds is gun to go before it starts like having issues, but so far so good. We're like 500 rounds in right now.
Yeah, we bring that up because we're 500 rounds in now and the handguard is a little loose.
Common occurrence with most AKs, you just gotta make sure they're Loctited, tightened up, and then check.
So we kind of wondered too if that was giving us issues during accuracy testing.
Sure. Most likely.
That's usually why when I zero my AKs, I actually rest the gun here,
On the receiver,
not on the actual
yeah.
rail portion, just in case. But to his their own. What?
Yeah, no, I think it's exactly what you said, man. I think the reason why these guns sell so well is number one, 7.62 by 39 is getting hard to get in the States, so 5.56 is going to be king for a lot longer. Also, too, I always say it, even if you catch me in the shop, 5.56 AKs just shoot flat. Like, it's one of the coolest guns to shoot.
Yeah, I'm definitely a believer after shooting this in the crink.
Yeah, like, even when we were doing some of the tripod stuff, like, it just tracks flat. But like Marco said, fully done up.
Yeah.
I don't need a customer or any of you guys to go out and buy anything else other than maybe a dot, but even then, just torque it down on here. It's already got an M-LOK rail for any lights, lasers you want to put on it. Dust cover. It's already got a trigger that I like. I probably lighten it up.
It's the best.
Yeah,
ALG is the best trigger for AKs. We all know this. Like, there's nothing else that can stand up to it.
It can go thousands and thousands of rounds.
I was trying to look up the price point for you guys. I'm not over here just playing on my phone.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like, I think it was like 1,100 bucks.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
For everything,
So it's 11 or 12.
You could not build this gun for 1,100 bucks. Like,
No.
if you did it in post, just bought a stock gun.
It's like $2,000.
Yeah, absolutely. This, I mean, just some minor stuff that, you know, if you get into a gun like this, I assume you're kind of mechanically inclined. You could definitely break this off, Loctite it back into place, and hopefully you'll never have issues after that. But this did cause us a few issues, I think, with point of impact shift. But
I wanted them to go over that, guys, because for me, I'm not AK inclined guy, and you know, seeing all this stuff, I'm like, yo, if I was buying this gun, I'd be like, hey, what the heck, you know? So having them out here explaining to me like, hey, it's more blacksmithing than gunsmithing when it comes to AK stuff, and you know, I'll bring this into Landon. He's gonna look at it over at Ventura and see what we can tighten up on this just to make it, you know, not have this play. But you know, everything that they're kind of telling me here on the range, like this gun performed, you know, as expected. It did well. I was happy with the accuracy, especially for shooting unmagnified at 50. Maybe there'll be some bonus footage of me coming back out and throwing an LPVO on it and shooting it you know, I'll shoot 50 yards with a 1-8 and see how tight it is then. But I mean, why not?
Yeah,
We can.
I
So
think the gun definitely is capable, but we'll just see, like Marco said, long term what it does after we tighten up that rail.
Yeah.
ammo did extremely well for us. We did not have one single malfunction in regards to shooting. I did have, what was it? One of the primers came out on one of the rounds.
Yeah, and that could have just been
That's probably just bad,
fully seated
bad
brass.
But other than that, we're over 500 rounds to this gun, so just that one issue. But no malfunctions while shooting it, even doing the bump fire, playing around stuff. This thing just ran. So optic guys, like you definitely saw how flat this thing shot through the optic footage. I personally like the primary arms prisms. These guys aren't a fan of prisms. They prefer more red dot stuff. They were kind of explaining like they get a double vision thing. I'm cross-eye dominant, so for those of you that don't know, I actually close my left eye when I shoot because my left eye is my dominant eye, and I just refuse to switch hands or switch cheek welds and stuff like that. So I don't want to move my handgun over and turn my cheek, is what I'm saying. So I've just kind of gotten used to over the last 20 years of shooting by immediately when I come up and present, I bring it up and line up with my right eye. Typically I can keep both eyes open, but with rifles I typically close my left and I don't see any of what they're saying. So, but for me, I definitely like the prism. I like how bright it is. What you guys are seeing through that optic footage is, you know, it's 130, sun is directly overhead, and it's easy to pick up the brightness in the prism. So overall, fun build. If you're looking for, you know, an AK, and you want to support PSA, I like what PSA is doing. I like what they're putting out there for their customer base, and I think all of this pairing is pretty sweet. I'm sure I can twist one of these guys' arms to maybe run it in a match.
100%.
Get you guys some footage on that. He's still going to run that platypus, don't worry.
Oh yeah.
And so, but any questions you guys got down below, leave them below in the comment section for us. We appreciate it. Palmetto, thanks for sending this out. SuperVel, thanks for supplying the ammo, and Primary Arms, always been a big partner with the channel. Appreciate your support with the new GLX Prism. So again, any questions, let us know. Appreciate you guys' support. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one. As promised, bonus footage with an LPVO on an AK. Primary arms 1-8, the PLX compact. Shooting some 55 grain SuperVel certified select. We got a pretty decent zero with the setup, so let's see how she groups now. Phone's recording downrange for you. Here we go. All right, so take a look. We are down here at the target now, guys. I believe the sequence went, the first two were down here, the second two touching here in the bullseye, and then my last fifth shot was here. But Marco was talking to me, and he brought up some good points. One of them being the whole blacksmithing over gunsmithing thing. Yeah. So you're saying with the dust cover, there's going to be a little bit of play in it.
There's no perfect, like an AR is like, AR, the body's fixed to the upper. With an AK, you just got minimal play. It's like, so the play's there, and you got a heavy optic on a heavy mount, and it's just going to be, it's just not bad.
Like, he was actually pretty, he's impressed that we got it all. Like, when we measure it out, furthest round to furthest round, we're at 2.5 inches exact.
Yeah, for a top cover mounted optic.
And then these three are 1. So 2.5 inches, 50 yards. I am using a 1-8, so again, if I didn't have Marco and Landon out here kind of breaking down, like, these are the expectations of AKs, because me, I'm like, hey man, I gotta, and then he was like, on top of it, it's a 12.5 inch barrel.
It's like, it's a 12.5 inch AK, and then the mount's not perfect. It's not like an AR, guys. So something I understand with AK matches, they're iron sight friendly. So this is good already.
That should tell you a lot if a match is iron sight friendly.
They make them iron sight friendly. So.
But I do want to press my luck.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw in some 77 grain OTMs now and see if that tightens up anymore. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna have much effect considering it's, it looks like the source of the issue is gonna be the mounting system, the dust cover mounting versus anything to actually do with the ballistics.
Just too much.
But it's YouTube. Let's try it anyways.
Yeah. Here to find out.
SuperVel 77 grain OTM 223 out of a 12.5 inch PSA AK with the Primary Arms PLX Compact 1-8. Here we go. All right, let's go take a look. So guys, unfortunately the phone overheated and died. It's October and it's still 100 degrees out. But I'm not gonna reshoot it because it's the same grouping, guys. We got 2 up here touching, 3 down here. So before we had 2 here touching, 1 in the center, and then 2 down here almost touching. Furthest round is gonna be here. And that's 2 3/4. So it's actually a little further out than we got with the other. Yep, 2 3/4 for there. These 2 were less than 1/2 inch. And this group down here was 1 inch. So, bullet didn't really change anything, but obviously, like we said before, it's going to be because the dust cover just has a little bit of play in it.
Yeah.
But again,
It's an AK.
the video, guys, this is more to set up a realistic expectation for you guys when you get this gun, if you get it. Like Marco and Landon said, if you were to build this gun, you're looking at 2 Gs where
Easily.
it's like $1,200 done for you. Pin and welded, 12.5 pin and welded to 16 with their booster, or with the JMac booster and the JMac rail. So, you know, from Marco and Landon's expertise in the AK world, speaking of which, it's, you know, Red October this week.
That's right.
You know, Marco's out here filming with you on a Monday, because we normally film Wednesdays, he's out here on a Monday. Sorry for all the talk, but I want you guys to understand this. The next 3 days, he's shooting, you know, one of the major AK matches in the country, and he's putting it on and doing all that.
Yeah. Run it, shoot it.
So that's why I wanted him out here. Like, when it comes to AK stuff, I always ask him and Landon, and, you know, from them, they're like, yo, this is awesome. This is more than reasonable for a $1,200 PSA 223 AK.